Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WoW Live. My name is Tuskeh, and in this video, we are going to be supplementing the level 100 Elemental Shaman guide. It's that simple. You can click on screen now or use the links in the description to go to the level 100 Elemental Shaman guide. In it, we talk about all kinds of different things, but I wanted to put that all into practice and just show you folks exactly what the Elemental Shaman is like to play in a scenario. It's not actually going to be a scenario, it's going to be a 5-man heroic. I'm currently queued for the Upper Blackrock Spire, because as you can see behind me, I have a Frostwall Tavern level 2, and in it I have a couple of quests to get just stuff from the Upper Blackrock Spire. This third one is for the Everbloom, we don't need that, and we don't need that as well. I'm currently on 60 Abrogator Stones. I haven't been all that busy, unfortunately, over the holiday season. I've been pretty busy outside of World of Warcraft. It's been a while since I played, so if I do make any errors, I do apologise in advance. We are currently queued, so hopefully it won't take too long. And of course we are queued as DPS, but it is also important to remember that the Elemental Shaman is more than just a pure damage dealer. We also have different abilities to help support the group. So before we jump into this heroic, let's quickly go over exactly how we can help the group in a 5-man. So, first of all, we have all of our default damage abilities. So Lava Burst, Elemental Blast, Flame Shock, Chain Lightning, Earthquake, Lightning Bolt, Unleash Flame, Thunderstorm, although that's not so much a DPS ability. Liquid Magma, definitely a DPS ability. Searing Totem, and Ascendance, and Fire Elemental Zone, kind of our big cooldowns. But we also have all kinds of other different ways to help the group out. So, for instance, we've got Wind Shear, which is our nice low cooldown interrupt. Just nice and reliable. We make sure we use that as much as we can to help control enemies as we go into this heroic. We have Astral Shift and Shamanistic Rage. Now, both of these are a flat damage reduction. You can combine them together to be pretty survivable. But I also have the Glyph of Shamanistic Rage. I believe I do anyway. Oh, I don't actually have it right now. I should probably change that. So this makes it so that every time I activate Shamanistic Rage, it cleanses me of all dispellable, harmful magic effects. So other glyphs we're going to be using, obviously Glyph of Chain Lightning, because there's going to be more than 3 enemies pretty much per every trash pack. Generally, bosses aren't massively difficult compared to some of the trash. I suppose that's more of a challenge mode thing, but some of these bosses actually have a bit of teeth, so maybe not so helpful for the bosses, but definitely helpful for the trash. Glyph of Flame Shock is probably what we're going to replace, because it's just a heal for the damage it deals. It's not all that significant. And then Glyph of Capacitor Totem, which just reduces the charging time. Very niceful. Very niceful. Yeah, it's very nice. So we will be putting that in. Also, as an important thing to remember, every time you change talents or glyphs, you lose your Lightning Shield. It's actually got to the point where I've bound my Lightning Shield to Alt-Shift-4, which might seem weird, but it's actually pretty easy for me to just hit whenever I want to. So that's pretty cool. So, what other things do we have that can contribute to helping the group out? Well, we have Purge, which is really good for just dispelling enemy magic effects. We're going to be looking a lot at this section of the screen right here. As you can see, I've got the buffs quite big, so we can see exactly what buffs the enemy has as we mouse over them, and then we can just see which is magic, and then quickly hit Shift-G to purge them. We've got Purify Spirit, or Cleanse Spirit, actually, which removes all curses from a friendly target. Now, is it all curses? It is all curses, nice. I thought it was only one. Well, in any case, it's just a really great, nice, helpful spell. It doesn't seem like it will see that much use, but I know there are a couple of enemies in the Blackrock Spire, I think the trash more than the bosses, that actually have a curse that reduces the healing you take by 50%, which can really suck. Now, this is bound to a mouse over macro, so that if I mouse over myself, as you see, I'm not targeting myself, I hit the keybind and I cast it. Similarly, if I target this stable hand, mouse over him, there we go, and then the peon. And I can also do it by mousing over the raid frames. Now, these raid frames are voodoo. So it's really quick. I don't actually have to change my target. So I can be targeting Lokra over here. She is in range, and I could target this stable hand, this peon instead. And there we go. It dispels the peon instead. So just a quick look, if you want to see exactly what that macro is. Let me find the bloody thing. Here it is, Purify Spirit. The first bit is a Show Tooltip Purify Spirit, hashtag Show Tooltip Purify Spirit. That just makes it show the tooltip of Purify Spirit, just a little button here. And then the actual macro is /cast, target equals mouse over Purify Spirit. Now these are, I'm not entirely sure what the official name for these brackets are. They are basically the 2 brackets just underneath and to the left of your backspace key. They are not changed with the shift modifier. The shift modifier is kind of a more squiggly one. That's officially, it's a more squiggly one. So that's Purify Spirit, another very helpful thing we can be using. One of my favorite ones though, Capacitor Totem. It's a 5-second stun after 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, bang. Just a really nice, and actually the animation has changed since Mr. Pandaria, which is nice. Makes it look much more Throne of Thundery. But yeah, it's just great. It's a great AoE stun, you can just throw it in at the beginning of a trash pull, and it just nullifies all of the trash. It's just great. And of course, you can combine that with one of our talents, Totemic Projection, to just throw your totems out into the enemy team. Into the enemies, and just stun them from range. You're nice and safe. We have Thunderstorm, good for knocking enemies back. Gotta be really careful with this spell, because the ideal situation, let's make an ideal situation here. Let's say that the tank is Lokra over here, so I will make Lokra a star. So she's the tank, and she has enemies all around her. I probably can't use these, no I can't. So she's got enemies all around her right now, and one of them jumps at the group. So it's like, oh, there's now one here, and they're maybe doing this, they're doing some kind of ability. You can position yourself so that it's the tank, and then the enemy, and then you. And then you Thunderstorm, and the enemy gets knocked back towards the tank. Now, this can be really great if you react really fast and hit Thunderstorm nice and quickly. I've kind of got to the point where I press Thunderstorm on instinct, which can be dangerous, just as a note. That can be very dangerous. But here's the problem. If you're not fast enough, or the tank is remarkably quick, then the enemy will charge the group, the tank will follow, and then you will knock the enemy behind the tank. And they're just going to be standing here like, well, what are you doing? Well, why? Why would you do this? So you have to be very careful. You have to really judge what kind of tank you're working with. So very important that you do that correctly. So Thunderstorm, another great ability. And I will quickly show you the Capacitor Totem combo here. So let's say that the enemies are around Lokra again. You just throw down the Capacitor Totem, hit Projection, and then bang! I've actually stunned a critter there by doing that. So we'll just quickly kill that. So yeah, really, really great stun combo there. What other things do we have? Well, we have Healing Stream Totem. A nice, just throw it down, and it's free healing on the group. That's all you really have to think about. Just throw it down on cooldown, and you will help the group significantly. It might not be a big heal, but it is free healing, and it's smart, so it will heal people. It heals an injured party or raid member within 40 yards. Every couple seconds. I mean, why wouldn't you throw it down? I mean, yeah, sure, you miss out on a single spell, but that's not the end of the world. Especially if you have a global cooldown free, then definitely throw it down. Speaking of when you don't have a global cooldown free, or when you're moving, which is a big problem with the Elemental Shaman these days, one thing that you really should get into the habit of doing, assuming you haven't picked, if I go into my talents here, Unleashed Fury, assuming you haven't picked this, then Unleashed Flame becomes a part of your rotation in a kind of interesting way. So, when you use it, you gain a damage bonus to your next spell, but you also gain a movement speed increase for a couple of seconds. So, one very important thing you can do with this, so let's say, where's Lokra gone? She's wandered off. Of course she has. Okay, well, let's just say, oh, she's right in front of the fireplace. Okay, so let's say that this fire is the enemies, right, and you're fighting, and then suddenly, yeah, fire is put under your feet. You have to move. So, either you finish the spell that you're casting, or you stop casting, which is a little bit worse, but if you have to get out of the fire, you have to get out of the fire. Don't die. That's the most important thing. Instead of just running from left to right and getting out of the fire, and then pressing your next spell, you can press your Unleashed Elements, get there a bit faster, and then press your next spell anyway. So it's very important that you use the movement speed increase from Unleash Flame to just get to where you're going faster. And another very important thing, if you have to go a significant distance, so let's say I have to go from here to the edge of my storehouse over there, then what you want to do is fire comes in, you have to start moving, you Ghost Wolf, and then you press Unleash Flame to get a movement speed increase, and then you're whoop, right over here, and you're there nice and quickly. And it doesn't really use any kind of big cooldown like a teleport or a blink or anything like that, so you're all good, you're all good. So there's that. What other spells do we have? Well, of course we have Hex. It's our primary crowd control ability. It only works on humanoids and beasts, so think about the enemies you'll be facing and whether or not they can be hexed. So for instance, the Iron Horde members within the Upper Blackrock Spire can all be hexed, which is great. Assuming, you know, some of the ogres probably won't be because they're immune to a lot of stuns and CCs, but also any dragonkin that we come across won't be CCable either, which shouldn't be a problem. I believe the only dragonkin we will face will be the last boss. She'll just summon ads, which probably won't be able to be CC'd anyway, and the second to last boss, which is a dragonkin, and it's a dragonkin, it's a boss, you can't exactly CC it, so not too big a deal there. What else do we have? We have Earth Grab Totem. You can use it just like Capacitor Totem. It's just a root. It's a nice AoE root for a few seconds. And if they get damaged, it can break it, but it also slows them if they're not rooted. So that's great. So you just throw it down, throw it out, all done. Enemies are rooted if you have to kite them or anything like that. We also have Grounding Totem, which just redirects the next harmful spell. This can be a bit difficult to make it affect the spell you want it to affect. because especially in trash packs, there's going to be a lot of enemies, and you might have multiple casters. But if you're lucky, you can actually have 2 enemies start casting a spell at the same time and have them both fire at the same time. They'll both fly to the grounding totem, and it will absorb both and then die. So that's really nice. So my recommendation is if you see casters at the start of a pull, and the tank generally hasn't been any good at interrupting or stunning things, then you can just throw it out at the start of the pull, and it will probably absorb at least one spell. It might absorb more. If it does, then great. That's above average. What other spells do we have? We have Earth Elemental Totem, which I won't be using right now because it's got a 5-minute cooldown, and well, we've only got a few minutes left until the event average wait timer is passed. And this Earth Elemental is pretty squishy. It's not the most tankiest thing in the world, but it has got a good way to generate aggro. It has a taunt, an AoE taunt, I believe it is, and it's just good at grabbing aggro from everyone, including the tank, which can be frustrating unless the tank is dead. If the tank is dead, throw out your Earth Elemental and basically start praying. The Earth Elemental will hold the line for a couple of seconds, and hopefully during that time you can do something. Raise the tank, kill the boss, reset, whatever. But just buy yourself time with it. That's all it is, really. It's a get yourself more time ability. And here we go. What brilliant timing. That wasn't even slightly edited. That's nice. Alright, so we're going to be going into the Upper Blackrock Spire. Honourable mentions, Earthquake with the glyph can slow enemies, and it also has a chance to knock enemies down, so great for AoE situations. Ancestral Guidance, free smart healing on a 2-minute cooldown. Use it during periods of burst when you're also doing lots of damage, like AoE, and you'll be doing plenty of healing to help out. Frost Shock can slow enemies, especially if you have it talented, but we don't, so we probably won't be using it. Speaking of talents, we will be going with Liquid Magma for this run, and assuming that we don't have too many CCs, we'll be using it. If not, we can always change it. So, who is our tank? That's one of the first things you want to do when you enter a 5-man or not so much a raid, more of a 5-man. One of the first things you want to do is identify your tank. He is this guy. He's very small. He is currently wandering around. Alright, looks like he's got a good amount of health. He's a Death Knight. He's buffed up, so that should be all good. Why is he so small? What is with this guy? Hey everyone, I just got heroic capable, so bear with me. Okay. Alright, so this is actually perfect. So this guy is new to heroics, so we'll pop down. Let's explain exactly what we did there. So as he pulled, we hexed the guy in the back. Just hexing anything helps. So we're currently doing that. Watching out for mechanics, there's the Rallying Banner. I'm going to get a Chain Lightning off on it. Didn't cast it, which is good, because that means that someone else got it before us, which is nice. We did get hit by a Rending Cleave there, so we just want to back off a little bit. So we've got a guy in the background here who is CC. We're just going to break him quickly. Can we get the follower? We can try. Kind of tricky with a new tank. Yeah. Alright. Also, one of the things you want to do is you want to communicate. So, yeah, might be better to pull nice and slow. Smiley face. Smiley face is always important. Alright, so we've got a group coming in here. So we will get the stun out. That did just manage to hit everyone. Is this guy going to stand in the back and be an annoyance? We're going to pop Spirit Walker's Grace to get behind him and then Thunderstorm him into the tank. There's the Rallying Banner. We're going to hit it with an Earth Shock, which is also combined with our Fulmination in order to deal with it. So he looks like he's Death Grip that one in. I kind of knocked him past it, but he was in an awkward position anyway. So that's the kind of thing you want to do with your Thunderstorm. Right now, the rotation is keep Flame Shock up on every target. I'm not using my Searing Tome as much as I could be. And using Chain Lightning as our filler spell. Our default rotation is Lava Burst and Elemental Blast, keeping up Flame Shock as much as we can. So it looks like the tank is line of sighting these guys, which is lovely. We will pop our what's the bloody thing called? I have to mouse over it. Liquid Magma. God, I can't even think right now. So we've got 3 enemies. We'll pop down an Earthquake right now. And just get the rotation going on all 3 guys. Make sure you Flame Shock them all. And we've got 2 guys here, so we'll just go between Chain Lightning and our normal rotation. So, nice and easy. Let's see. Just keeping an eye on it. I can tank in spots if you need. I'm geared. Maybe you go tank just to follow it. Priest is your name from Family Guy. Not so relevant, but not too important. Okay, so these Rage Main Wargs have an Enrage, so it's important that we get a pretty decent stun out when they either enrage or when they try and do their cleave ability. Alright, here we go. So we will just wait a moment. Keep an eye on one of them. Get our Earthquake out. Alright, here they go with the Frantic Mauling. We'll pop down our stun. And get the stun out. Nice. And make sure you're always casting your Lava Burst as much as you can on targets that have Flame Shock on them. If a target is going to die before you can get a Flame Shock and a Lava Burst off, then generally it's worth it to just cast a single Lava Burst. Even if it's not Flame Shocked, it'll deal pretty decent damage either way. So, of course, we're making sure to constantly keep... oh, with Primal Spirit. Constantly keep everything on cooldown in terms of our abilities. We'll use our Liquid Magma there. And, of course, we are also making sure we get a 5-stack of... Just going to grab that banner. There we go. Nice Lava Surge to deal with that. Making sure we get a 5-stack, or as close to 5 as we can, of improved Chain Lightning before every single Earthquake, because that dramatically increases the damage of the Earthquake. So we'll pop our next... We'll pop our cooldowns again here. And it looks like the Sentry Cannon is actually up at this point, so we want to try and focus that down, because these Sentry Cannons can actually do a fair bit of damage if they're left alone. And we have a dot on us, so we'll just quickly throw down the Healing Stream Totem to counteract the effects of this little dot here. Alright, so it looks like he is line of sighting these guys. Oh, we grabbed Dagger there with what looked like an auto attack. Alright, this is going to be a bit awkward. So we will go around here and we will Thunderstorm him into the group. There we go. That's exactly the kind of thing you want to do. We will then put down our Capacitor Tome and our Searing Tome, activate Liquid Magma. Everyone is stunned. One Chain Lightning. A bit of an awkward Chain Lightning, but that's fine. Put down the Earthquake and start the single target rotation on one of these guys. Oh, just managed to get that Chain Lightning off because the Rage Main Warg moved. Alright, get a few more of these off. Not really worth lightning, sorry, not really worth flame shocking any more of them. Oh, but except this Sentry Cannon, we'll get that one up. And it's going to be doing a bit of damage to the group, so we'll throw down another Healing Stream Totem. Just to counteract its effects, although it looks like it's actually not doing anything now. Oh, there it is. So the Disc Priest actually seems to be handling this pretty well. The group isn't taking too much damage, and it looks like she's pretty well geared, so she's handling things nicely. Alright, next group is coming out. Capacitor Totem is available. We will run behind these guys, Thunderstorm them into the group. Now, if I'd been really clever, I would have actually Thunderstormed that Lead Belcher, and then... Oh, I buggered that up. I'll tell you why I buggered that up, because Let me just grab that Rallying Banner while I try and talk. I buggered that up because I tried to do two things at once and ended up not doing any of them. So, as you can see, the Shrapnel Storm, I was trying to move from it, but I was also trying to finish my cast of Earthquake. As it stood, I wasn't able to do either of those things, and I just buggered up. So it's very important that you dedicate yourself entirely to one or the other. Good Death Grip there. If you hadn't have Death Gripped, I actually couldn't have stopped that because I don't have Thunderstorm available. I could have rooted it, or maybe stunned it, but not entirely sure about that. So, things are going pretty well so far. Looks like the group isn't in too much danger, just keeping an eye on there, making sure we do our rotation. Still wondering why this guy is so damn small, but that's fine. So this next group, pretty pointless. It doesn't really do anything. It's important to... moved again and buggered up that Earthquake. That's going to really screw with my DPS on this pull. That's not a big deal. Alright, so it's very important to remember exactly how the mechanics of this instance work and how you interact with those mechanics yourself. Alright, so it looks like we're about to begin. Now, I do have 1-minute guides to all of these, and I won't be going over the mechanics too much. But we will, however, be popping Bloodlust. Oh, looks like we were just beaten to it. That's fine, we'll be popping our cooldowns here, so that's our Bloodlust, our Ascendance, and our Fire Elemental Totem, including our Haste cooldowns. So we'll be hitting him as hard as we can. And we will then pop our... Ooh, okay. Gotta make sure we're okay here. Alright, so what we did there is we used our Spirit Walker's Grace and combined it with our Ascendance, even though we were still in our cooldown period, to just continually keep doing damage, just keep doing our thing, while also dealing with the mechanics. So, looks like we're going to go and grab this next one. And then we'll use our Ghost Wolf to keep up with the orbs. Move around here. It looks like... Yep, we got that one as well. Now, the group is in a bit of danger here, so we're going to start healing up, especially with the Shrapnel Nova coming in. People might die. Looks like things are okay. We'll pop our guidance. Oh, that is a Chain Lightning. That was me fat fingering the wrong button. We'll just try and keep the group a little bit healed, just to stabilize them a little bit, because we don't want a Shrapnel Nova to ruin everything. Alright, so we're just going to get behind this orb. Make sure we avoid this magnetic field. Use our Unleash Flame to keep up and keep moving. And I have a few more seconds left. I'm just going to run around here and grab all of these that I can. Just staying ahead of... I'm probably going to die here. Nope, I just avoided it. Wonderful. Lovely healing from the priest there. It's not really a good idea to constantly go down there. You really just want to go down, get a couple, and then stay with the orbs. Because as you can see, this is a very healing-intensive fight. But we threw down our healing stream totem and used our cooldowns and ran through the lightning orb rather than running with it and taking constant damage. And we got some boots that we don't need. So that actually handled pretty well. Nice healing from the healer there to keep us alive. I was pretty sure I was going to die there. But I have a habit of dying on that fight. I tend to become a bit too much of a hero. So this next trash pack involves an alchemist, an engineer, and a monstrosity. The monstrosity is the most dangerous one, so we will mark it with a skull just to help out. And we have also, very importantly, we had CC'd the alchemist. So we will just get our dots out. Very important to note that I don't back up into this next group or back up into the cleave effect of this eruption. So right now we're just keeping our earthquake down. We will use our liquid magma, keeping everything on cooldown, making sure we have them all dotted up. I won't be redotting this monstrosity. We will interrupt that debilitating ray. This is also a very important thing. I did miss it there, but we need to keep an eye on these rejuvenating serums. Here it is. It's healing every 3 seconds. We don't want that. We don't want him to heal, so we'll just purge it. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Now let's see if we can get off a proper CC this time. Get that hex down, mark the monstrosity. Ah, wonderful. Make sure we interrupt that debilitating ray. Now, as far as I'm aware, these monstrosities cannot be stunned. Always good to experiment, though, so we'll get out the capacitor totem and see how it is. No, cannot be stunned. But it did stop the engineer from using his debilitating ray. So we will interrupt him again. This debilitating ray is just an annoyance more than anything else, but it's important to interrupt it if you can. Constantly keeping our lava burst on cooldown. We're getting a lot of procs here. It's very possible that you can just get proc after proc after proc of lava surge. So it's important that we constantly keep lava burst on cooldown because we never want to waste a lava surge. It's just a terrible, terrible waste if you end up clipping lava surges. So we will cast one lava burst, purge to dispel, and then finish off the fight with a lava surge and a fulmination. Now, very important that we mark these two monstrosities because they have to die before the boss. Looks like the tank is getting ready. We will open with an Unleash Flame to keep ourselves ready, activate our haste cooldowns, and then start lava bursting. Now, I did make a small mistake there. I probably should have activated my second Flame Shock before going into the Ascendants, but that's fine. So we will just activate our Spirit Walker's Grace here to keep ourselves nice and alive. Oh, we have a poison effect on us, so we will just move to the left there. Good idea to just generally spread out. Generally, you don't want to just be standing around doing nothing while you do all this. So we will go to the side here. We're going to hold this lava surge for just a second, but the reason we did that is because we didn't actually have a Flame Shock up at the time. So that's just fine. We will refresh our Searing Totem, activate Liquid Magma, and we should be good. Constantly keeping out of the green. And don't have to move too much here. Next time we move, we'll probably move to the right a little bit and combine it with an Unleashed Flame. Make sure we interrupt this debilitating fixation. All good. Although the tank is doing a great job of interrupting that himself. So we will activate our Unleashed Flame just to sidestep, as I said earlier. Now, it's very important to note that we're going to be hit by... Oh, I've just got the poison on me. I'm just going to run through this pool like an idiot, but that's fine. Doesn't seem to last very long. Alright, so he's casting Rejuvenating Serum, and you want to dispel that as quickly as we can, because him healing just sucks. So we'll throw down a quick Healing Stream Totem to help the group a little bit. And we will just keep going. It's also important to remember that you can, if you want to, clip your Flame Shock by 10 seconds. I mentioned this in the guide, but just reiterating upon that. Just finishing that cast before I move. You can clip it if you want to. Up to 10 seconds, the extra seconds will be added to the new Flame Shock duration, so that's just fine. So here is the next Rejuvenating Serum. I probably shouldn't have gone through that cast, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. So Kyrak is dead. Nice and simple. We're doing a nice bit of damage, and we'll just counteract the effects of this poison with a Healing Surge and an Astral Shift. It looks like we're not going for the Leroy achievement. That's fine. That's fine. I don't really want a mass pull here anyway either, because it is a bit of a nightmare even without mass pulling. Oh, it looks like he's actually going to go and res him. Can he res him? Come on. Come on. I don't really want to do the Leroy achievement. No need to do it. We have. Oh, bugger it. Screw it. Let's see how this goes. This might be terrible. It might be an absolute nightmare. But we will res him. Alright. If you didn't know, the Leroy achievement basically says, pull everything. before you... yeah, pull everything within, I think it's like 40 minutes or something like that. Something stupid like that. And then he'll run through the entire instance. So, these guys, actually, got to be a bit careful here. It's not the veterans, it's the elites we have to watch for. Now, these elites can charge you and knock you back. And you can just get knocked straight down there, which is just terrible. Alright, so here comes the big pull that we were talking about. We're going to start with the capacitor totem, get that stun out. Oh, it's not actually out yet, that's a bit sucky, but that's fine. It gives us a bit of time to get the AoE DPS going here. So, AoE DPS rotation, liquid magma, chain lightning, keep earthquake up. Got the capacitor totem up already, which is all good. Probably should be killing that elite first. Where is he? Oh, I think he's nearly dead. That's fine. Okay, good. Got lots of AoE stuns and all that stuff with the earthquake and the capacitor totem. So that's all good. Alright, so we're going to throw down the grounding totem to absorb, looks like, the fireball. So that's good. So as you can see, we want to constantly interrupt these guys. Alright, looks like she's going to start summoning. I don't have a way to deal with this, but thankfully, someone else in the group does. See, I should have saved the wind shear for that. Just going to dispel that curse. And then I think we're all good, really. We can probably kill her before she even gets the summoning off, but I'll interrupt her anyway, just to make sure. Get off the final lava surge, and we're all good. Throw down the healing stream totem, just to make sure. Now, watch these Black Iron Elites. These Black Iron Elites actually use a fear effect, which has about a 10-yard range, so we are in range of it right now, so we'll just do a quick step back. And if we don't interrupt it, then the group gets feared, which sucks. But shouldn't be too big of a deal. Looks like she's going to die before she even gets it off. There it is. Just going to interrupt it. But if she did get it off, or she was about to cast it and I realized she was going to get it off, then we could... Oh, this was a pretty ballsy pull by the tank here. Just going to heal him up a little bit. Then we could use Tremor Totem to counteract it. Now, we have a bit of aggro here, which is a little bit of a shame, but that's fine. We're just going to keep going with the AoE rotation. And we should be all good to continue the damage right now. We will put down our Searing Totem and activate our Liquid Magma, get one more Chain Lightning off, and then use another Earthquake. Really, you want to keep Earthquake on cooldown as much as you possibly can. Now, Tank's taking a fair bit of damage here, so we want to keep him healed up, especially since we're doing this Leroy achievement. So, we will actually root these guys in the distance here. Did we get it? We did. So, this actually buys the tank a little bit of time to just grab aggro. And that elite was... Oh, here we go. Here comes the Intimidating Shout. We'll pop down the Grounding Totem because we want to save our... Oh, it looks like someone else interrupted him. That's fine. We want to save our interrupt for something else. Although it looks like there aren't actually any casters in this pack. So, minor mistake on my part. Again, you want to know exactly what you're fighting with or not. You can use your interrupts and your CCs and all that stuff. So, we will continue to... continue this mass pulling, which is, I have to say, quite fun. Got to be very careful with these siege breakers because they cannot be stunned or CC'd in any kind of way. So really the only thing we can do, because they also have an enrage, and we can't actually deal with this enrage. The only real thing we can do at this point is to just keep up the damage and kill them as quickly as we can. We'll use our liquid magma here as well because they're so grouped up that it will hit them both. Just keep up the damage, kill them as quickly as we can. And if the tank starts to get low, then just heal him up. So keeping an eye on this tank here. And it looks like this is all good. Just going to pop down the healing stream totem before we enter this next pull. Throw down the capacitor totem. We can just leave it where it is. Get that interrupt out. Oh, looks like we have a few things aggroed onto us, but that's fine. We'll throw down the earthquake, dispel this. Keep an eye on the summoner. Excuse me. Keep an eye on that summoner. And the tank as well, who's actually taking a lot of damage right now. Alright, looks like that interrupts off. We'll dispel ourselves with Shamanistic Rage, because I love dispelling myself with Shamanistic Rage. Get another Earthquake up, because it has a 4-stack, so pretty good on 2 targets, although it looks like might be a bit wasted, because that guy's about to get cleaved down. So, that's all good. Looks like everything is going well. We've got 5 more seconds on our next... Just grab that. 5 more seconds on our next stun, so we're just going to throw down the Grounding Totem. That will stop a Shadow Bolt, and we'll get out the Capacitor Totem and continue our AoE rotation. So, a bit close there. We got hit by the by the Frost Nova, but that's fine. That's all fine. Again, not using Flame Shocked Lava Burst here because not really worth the global cooldown in terms of the damage. I'd much rather get another Fulmination out there. Alright, all good. Now we jump down. Okay, so this boss is 3 waves of trash, and then the boss. So, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Just going to take a quick drink. Ah, lovely. Alright, now here come the bad guys. We will... Since we are ranged, we will use this time to get down these vile mole hatchlings in the sky. Because they're just a bother more than anything else. We'll get the stun out. We've got a nice 5 stack of Chain Lightning. So we will throw that out. Throw down another... looks like we've got a few more in the sky. Got down a Flame Shock. These two are pretty close, so we will Chain Lightning the 2 of them. Final Lava Burst should deal with that. Alright, so it looks like things are going pretty well. We'll save our Liquid Magma for the next group. So that should be all good. Just going to continue the AoE rotation here. Using our Earth Shock whenever we can. Generally, I like to just use it whenever I can, just to keep it on cooldown. Not the biggest damage increase, not really a damage increase, but it's just the way I play. Generally, you'll want to wait a little bit. So we will get the 5 stack of Chain Lightning, get our Earthquake out, and just start Chain Lightning here. And we will get out our stun as soon as it is available. Dispel again. Is that the healer that keeps getting hit? No, it's just a random DPS. Okay, that's fine. But that's the Veil of Shadow that I told you about that just reduces the healing you take. Yeah, it's just never any good to have that on. There it is right there, actually. So we will Dispel again. Get out the Grounding Totem to stop any more spells from this Dreadweaver. It looks like he actually got locked and then knocked down anyway, so that's all fine. And as you can see, we can do all of this stuff, constantly throwing out all these helpful spells and stuff, while also doing lots of damage. Because Earthquake, which is a lot of our AoE damage, doesn't have any kind of maintenance. All you have to do is cast it, and then you're done. Alright, so we will get the 5 stack, get the Earthquake out, get the stun out, and then we will start knocking these guys out of the sky. That probably wasn't the best Chain Lightning target. Get that out. Oh, make sure we interrupt that. Bit awkward to constantly look around like this, but that's all fine. We'll throw down another Grounding Tome to get that Fireball, which we just got despite the stun, which is nice. Interrupt that Debilitating Ray. And we should be good. Lost the cast there to him dying, but that's fine. Alright. So it's all good. Next wave will be the Iron Barb Sky Reaver. So we want to kill this thing really as quickly as we can. So at this point we will pop our cooldowns. We will not be using our Fire Elemental because, well, I mean, he's not going to be able to target for a while here. So we will just throw out our spells. We have a bit of aggro here. Gotta be careful there. We did plenty of damage there. That is one thing to definitely note of. Now that we've lost our Ascendance, we will pop our Fire Elemental. Shouldn't have used that Lava Surge, but that's fine. And because we still have Spirit Walker's Grace up, we can continue to cast even while he tries to screw us over with his abilities. And it looks like we are safe from that axe. So we can continue now to go into our single target rotation. Now this fight isn't really too complicated. He just does a chunk of damage to people, so we will just throw down this Healing Stream Tome. And it looks like he's constantly charging me. It's important to remember that he also charges anyone that he goes through and deals damage to them, so we want to be spread out. Activate our secondary nameplates here. Oh, we've got some ads, so we will Chain Lightning those down. Just keep an eye on where they are. And it looks like everything is good. And hitting me again with that. I've actually wondered if that's actually dodgeable. It looks like the Frost Mage is actually doing a really great job of knocking these guys out from the sky, which is just brilliant. I mean, that's just great. So we'll throw down the Searing Totem here, make sure we have it active for the last bit of this fight. And then we will kill Commander Tharbek. Wonderful. So we will quickly loot here. Get ourselves 3 gold. Totally worth it. So this is actually going pretty nicely. Nice and smooth. Making sure we're keeping an eye on the tank. Especially for these next few pulls. Because they can be really nasty. We will CC one of these guys as they come down. It looks like the tank wants to take them out here. Which is just fine by me. Must watch out for this smash. This smash is absolutely deadly. Well, on challenge mode it is anyway. I think. Or maybe it was, I think it was heroic. Alright, so we've got a bit of a stubborn lead belcher over here, so we want to get behind her and then thunderstorm her out into the group. Nice and simple. It's very important that I didn't go right up next to her at that point, because then I would have also knocked everyone else backwards, which would have sucked. So she's now in range of all the AoE, which is nice. So, again, another good use of Thunderstorm, making sure you're constantly using it to keep things under control and that you're helping the group every time you cast it. Alright, so just throwing down the Healing Stream Tome as we start moving. Gonna project it into this room and just kill this guy. Pretty simple. Making sure you hex as people pull back can be very helpful. Because, I mean, this tank seems to know what he's doing. He's just kind of pulling in one great big motion. How's the healer doing? Where is she? There she is. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be going for a big old pull in here. As referenced by the fact that, you know, we've got an army of the dead coming in. So we will start with the Chain Lightning, pop our cooldowns, use Liquid Magma, pop the Earthbind Totem just to ruin everyone's day. And, oh, looks like we've been feared. That sucks. That's fine, though. And then we will knock you back into range of the stun with the Thunderstorm. Just out of range of that, unfortunately. But we want to kill these guys as quickly as they can, because if we don't kill them, they just start being a problem, really, that's all. Because they start opening these whelp cages. Keep an eye on where that smash is going, because that is really nasty, but that's fine. We avoided it just fine. Another fair. Bit too close to him, that's the problem, but that's all fine. So now we're going to go into this room here. Alright, looks like this guy is going to pull back. That's all fine by me. So we'll get off the 5 stack of Chain Lightning, pop down our Earthquake, and we will then root these guys. And then we will use the chance to knock this guy back into the group. You just want to constantly keep these guys under control. Don't want them to get very far. As you can see, constantly trying to stop them, constantly trying to stop them. We'll actually even Frost Shock this guy to slow him down a little bit. Do we have anything to stop him? Yes, we have a Capacity Totem. So we'll throw that down here, actually. Oh, just missed it, but that's fine. Is there any way to stop this guy? I don't believe there is. I think we're out of options. But it should be all good. We're going to throw down a root here. That did not stop him. Will it stop him from opening this cage? Well, death will stop him from opening this cage. Oh, but it looks like we've got a couple of ads. That's fine. We've got plenty of time on this chicken timer. I can't believe I just said that. So, we'll throw down another Searing Totem. Make sure we don't get aggro. That's all fine. Using Astral Shift to reduce the damage there. And then we just go back into our normal rotation. We've activated Liquid Magma as well. And we're just going to go into our normal rotation using Chain Lightning instead of our single target, whatchamacallit, Lightning Bolt. So that's all good. Here is the Son of Beast. So we will pop our Bloodlust at this point, because I believe this is where the chain ends. So just out of range of that fear, which was nice. We will actually pop Tremor Tome to break that. Might have been a better idea to save it for the next one, so I was ready. But we've also got Spirit Walker's Grace up right now, just in case we get knocked back, just like that. So that's all good. So we will throw down a Healing Stream Totem to help with this, and then we will activate our big cooldowns. We've got our Greater Fire Elemental Totem out. Want to keep a decent range from the Son of Beast, because like I said, he does have that fear. We were very close last time. Want to keep getting the DPS out. He's feared again, but there's nothing I can really do about that. And it looks like, whoop, got knocked back. Make sure you don't stay on these walls, by the way, because the Son of Beast can evade bug, and it's just a nightmare. So it looks like we are all good. I'm going to use the opportunity to skin a little bit. What do you actually get from skinning the Son of Beast, I wonder? I'm pretty sure it's nothing of interest. So, we're going to catch up with the group with a Ghost Wolf and an Unleash Flame combo. Move our Searing Totem ahead, just by casting it and then using Totemic Projection. And we'll use our Ancestral Guidance at this point. Actually, that probably wasn't a good idea. Probably best to save the Ancestral Guidance for the next boss fight, because this next boss fight is a nightmare. So throwing out a couple heals onto the tank, making sure he doesn't die. He really is the priority here. We'll throw out an extra heal onto this melee DPS. But the tank really is the priority in terms of keeping them alive. If you can choose between a melee DPS and a tank, keep the tank up. Every time. Alright, now before we get into the next fight, we'll say yay. And do a little chip, have a sip of drink. And, oh, are we just going to wait? Looks like we're just going to wait. Alright, I think I missed an Iron Star somewhere. I admit, I've never had a tavern before. I've got to figure out exactly where this thing is. Aha! A Proto-Dragon Claw. What? Wow! Really? Nice. Alright, so just in case you didn't know, this Leroy Jenkins achievement, basically, you have to basically res him before you pull anything after the second boss. And then you have to just... He'll run around with his 14k health and try and pull anything that's left alive. If there's anything left alive, he'll die and you'll fail. But if you clear everything in the time it takes, then he'll just wander around, jump down here, go to the beast, get his devout shoulder pads, and then be done. And then you get him as a follower, which is nice. Leroy? So that's how you do that. Alright, well, moving on to the next boss. Now, this next boss is pretty nasty, lots of damage. Want to make sure that we are avoiding as much fire as we can. That's the most important thing. Avoid fire. If you die, you can't do anything. You can't heal, you can't damage, you can't anything. So we'll start with our elemental, start getting the damage out, pop our ascendants, and just get that lovely, lovely damage out. And we'll use our our Spirit Walker's Grace to make sure we're not standing in fire. And we want to make sure we're kind of hanging around towards the edge in the center of the room, just so that we can avoid this fire. Just want to stand over to the left here, the right here, get some heals out. Someone is standing in fire and they really shouldn't be doing that. I think it's our Frost Mage. Alright, so now we want to focus entirely upon not dying. That is the most important part. We'll get a single Chain Lightning and an Earthquake. Very nice positioning here to avoid this stuff. Just want to avoid as much as we can. And then we are still standing in fire. Make sure we get this AoE going. Alright, it was pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So now we will continue to hit her. And we'll use our haste cooldowns here. Well, our haste trinket. Anyway, I consider it a cooldown. And we will wait to see exactly what direction she goes in. Hopefully it's not away from me. Okay, it's towards me. That's good. Alright, so we're just going to go here. We're going to pop our liquid magma. Probably wasn't too necessary. That was the healer dead. Alright, time to be a hero. Now things get difficult. We do have a res. Hopefully she takes it. Until then, I will try my best to support this group. We will use our Ancestral Guidance at this point. Get the Chain Lightning out. And the Earthquake. And then we're just going to tank this one. Get some heals going. We've got our Ancestral Guidance to copy our heals. So we should be good to go. Now, she will land. And she will start getting a haste in damage increase. Yeah, damage increase. I believe that stacks, so you want to be a bit careful here. But everything looks like it's going just fine. Make sure we don't stand in fire. Looks like we didn't need to cast that other Chain Lightning, but that's fine. And like I said, this does stack. So everything is good. Make sure we keep an eye on this tank. Throw a couple of heals out to him to keep him nice and secure. And that should be good. We're all good. So that wasn't too bad. She's gone up to a 45% damage increase. And we've lost our Flame Shock, but that's all fine. Just more focused on keeping the tank alive, making sure that no one dies. There are our extra Healing Surge. And one final Earth Shock with a Fulmination to finish that one off. So that's all good. Throw down the Healing Stream Totem and get out a couple of heals to help support the group while the healer gets a bit of mana back. All good. Alright, now, moving on to these trash packs. These trash packs aren't actually all that nasty. They don't really do too much. Although there is the Dragonkin here. I did mention that we might not be able to hex these guys. And we can't because they are Dragonkin. I forgot completely about these trash packs, but yeah, they're not that dangerous. They're not that dangerous at all. Don't stand in fire. That's basically the whole thing about it. So at this point, we're just going to go back to our normal rotation. Just become a bit more of a DPSer. Maybe we'll throw a single heal onto this guy, because I know that Disc Priests are much less about direct healing and more about absorbs. So when someone starts to get a bit low... Oops, got to be careful here. We'll CC the Flame Reaver. I believe those are the guys that drop the Wind Fury totems, and those totems can be pretty nasty. Alright, so got to keep an eye out for... There it is, right there. We'll start with the Chain Lightning on it. Now, here's the great thing. Chain Lightning does not chain onto totems and banners and things like that. But if you cast it onto one of them, if you start the Chain Lightning cast on a totem or a banner, it will bounce from the banner to the rest of the trash pack, which is really nice. So that's an important thing to do. Looks like we will... Oh, they're very nice. Tank just got them in range there, so lovely work there. So we're just going to Chain Lightning our way to victory. We'll throw another chain... Oh, looks like someone else got it before me. That's fine. Kind of screwed with our DPS rotation a little bit, but Liquid Magma holds its own and keeps us busy because it's doing its thing while we're getting knocked around and worrying about other totems. So that's all good. One important thing to note, if you get pulled by the chain pull and you've got Spirit Walker's Grace up, you won't be interrupted because it's not a stun. It's just it just forces you to move. So you can counteract it if you see you're about to get cast. And here is the Iron Star. Wonderful. So that is our quest complete. So we will get the Chain Lightning out. Very important to note that I cast that Chain Lightning a little bit late just so that it would hit them all. Very important. Very important to just delay it a little bit. So, grab that Wind Fury Totem. Start the Chain Lightning on the Wind Fury Totem. And, the tank took a lot of damage there. He's getting a bit low. We'll throw down some heals. Stabilize him a bit. Alright, all good. And, of course, if the tank had died there, I could have thrown out the Earth Elemental Totem just to hold the line while these last few trash packs died. I probably also would have combined it with a Thunderstorm to get them all knocked back. So, very important that we refresh our totems before combat. We'll just project them ahead. And even if we didn't pull at this point, I'll even mark one of these guys. Even if we didn't pull at this point, then you can... I'll hex one of them as well. Even if we didn't pull and the trash pack walked over my totems, it wouldn't actually aggro. As far as I'm aware, they do not aggro. So as you can also see, these guys do a shockwave. So, the tank definitely learned from that after stunning the whole group, but, you know, that's what it's all about. You see, you learn, you don't do it again. But it's generally a good idea to always keep your back to your enemy. Always, keep their back to you. You don't want to get hit by their abilities. Like that. I mean, as a priest, you don't really want to be standing directly in melee range like that. You want to give yourself a little bit of range. Just to breathe, really, especially on a small tract of land like this. Also, cool, there's a dragon down there. I didn't even know that. I really like this final boss room. I think it looks really cool. So, just going to finish that fight off with our generic rotation. Not really too much to talk about here. Before we fight, we're just going to take a sip of drink. So that's all good, because I have been talking for a while now. And my throat is starting to die. So, we will activate our Unleash Flame. And we will pull. But, very important, we do not pop our cooldowns at the start of this fight. I bet you... Yeah, I was about to say, I bet we're going to get time warped here. Generally, you want to save them for the second phase. You want to kill those ads as quickly as you can, because they're just a nightmare. Because they knock back, and that can really suck, because you're getting knocked into stuff, pulled into stuff. It just generally sucks. Looks like... Just going to throw a heal onto the Death Knight. We're going to take a little bit of damage here. That's fine. That's all fine. Alright, she's just going to bugger off now. Goodbye, Warlord Zayla. Now, we want to keep ourselves as mobile as we can. So at this point, we're going to pop our cooldowns, kill these guys as quickly as we can, activate our Spirit Walker's Grace, and our Ancestral Guidance, just to help keep the group healed. We got pulled there, but we have Spirit Walker's Grace up, which is very important. Keeping an eye on the side of the room. There goes our cooldowns. Buggered that up minorly. I accidentally lost my Fire Elemental there because I put down a Searing Totem through Instinct, which I shouldn't have done. But not too much of a big deal. We'll use our Haste Trinket. Now, it's very important to note that you see this breath here. If you stood here at the very end, what looks like out of range, you would still get hit by it. It's a complete... It goes across the entire platform. So very important that you dodge everything. Just don't try and outrange it. Just try and stand to the side of it. So that one shouldn't hit us. No, we're all good. We're all good. Next one's coming down here, so we will happily be able to avoid that. Just going to continue with our single target rotation. Oh, right next to the Cyclone, but that's fine. Got hit by it once. We'll just throw down a few heals here. Oh. That's fine. Just want to make sure we're constantly running out. And it looks like we're all good at this point. I'm just going to keep the single target rotation going. We're going to let our Searing Totem fall off. But that's fine. She's hardly got any health left. Throw down a Healing Stream Totem. Hit her with another Flame Shock. Use our Unleash Flame to get out of range of this breath. Throw down a last heal. And a last Lava Surge to finish it all off. There we go. You're gonna... Nope, you're not. Okay, wonderful. So, I'm gonna loot that. Thanks, folks. And there we go. That is the end of the run. So that will conclude this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, all that stuff, if you want to know about things that I did that I didn't quite mention because it's possible, or you want to yell at me for my mistakes, which is probable because everyone makes mistakes. I don't claim to be perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. But if you have anything to say, you can let me know using the links in the description to contact me, or you can just leave a comment. I'm more than happy to have a chat with you folks through that system. And as always, that's it. I don't remember what to say next. It's been so long since I've done a WoW Live. What do I say next? That's right. I'm so bad at this. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your gaming endeavors, and also as Master of the Elements if you happen to be a shaman. If you're not a shaman, play one. They're fun. Farewell, folks. I'll see you next time. Severely outgear everyone else around you, which is very unlikely, you're not going to be top damage dealer. Will very likely be middle of the road instead. This may sound like bad news, but really a great Elemental Shaman is not someone who only deals damage. Trash, CC a lot, avoid the shiny bad and the dark bad, interrupt everything. Soulbind and the army, interrupt Mind Spike, dispel Shadow Word Pain, stand inside the swirls of Soul Vessel, stun and kill adds. Trash, kite the Abyssal with stuns, knockbacks and slows while killing it. Stun and interrupt the Crackling Pyromaniac's Fell Blast. Don't go near the Blazing Tricksters. Icecrown Citadel is made out of Saronite. And Saronite is essentially Yogg-Saron's blood, essentially.
Yeah.
It's some kind of essence of him. And I mean, you've got to admit, the whole Citadel made of old god, that's going to have an effect on Arthas and the Scourge, and it was never really explained.
Yeah, they did not go into as much effect about the Saronite as I had hoped, because when they first revealed that it was the essence and blood of Yogg-Saron, and that's why a lot of people in Northrend were acting out of character.